Sometimes cameras catch more than just memories. They capture moments that send chills down your spine. This video has shadowy figures sneaking into homes to bizarre faces peeking through windows. These real intruder encounters will leave you speechless about things that come out late at night. No. Things felt lighthearted when this group of friends went on a late night hike, just laughing and walking through the woods, but it all flipped when they spotted strange glowing eyes in the dark. First, they thought it was just deer, but what stepped into view wasn't even close. Pale figures with thin limbs were crawling strangely. Two of them looked like they were helping a third one, who lay flat on the ground. Then a fourth one showed up from the shadows. They didn't invade, but their presence was enough to shake anyone. Viewers still can't agree whether they were skinwalkers or rakes. Strange transformation. Late at night, an outdoor security cam picked up movement near a sidewalk, but it wasn't someone walking their dog or heading home. It was something crawling on all fours in a jerky, unnatural way. For a second, it looked like a creature. Then it stopped, shifted its body, and stood up like a human and casually walked away. That sudden switch caught everyone off guard. Was it a creature in disguise or just a prank pulled off too well? Whatever it was, it definitely didn't move like anything ordinary. Eyes at door. It was just another normal night until a home security camera picked up something strange. Outside the house, a thin figure was sitting still, bent low. It didn't move at first, but then it got up and slowly walked straight toward the camera. When it got close, its big black eyes stared right into the lens. Its face didn't look human. It looked just like the alien people talk about. The weird part, it didn't come from inside. It came from outside and left the same way. Unseen intruder. This clip came from a house where a girl was folding her clothes like every normal day. But then in the video, a pale, crouching figure was seen moving awkwardly behind the balcony door. She went without even noticing, but the camera caught the creepy view as the creature known online as the Rake. Many believe that the clip is just fiction, but it was something real. Whether it was the Rake or just someone lurking where they shouldn't be, the footage doesn't feel like a prank. It feels off. Witch in woods.
Okay.
This man went into the woods to prove a point. One night alone, just him and his camera. Everything was quiet until it wasn't. Around 2 a.m., he reviewed the footage and froze. Behind him, something was standing still, long, dark, and shaped like a witch. She wasn't there when he looked back, but now she was following him. He panicked, said words that sounded like a prayer, maybe even begged. Whatever he said, it worked. She walked away, but that night didn't feel like a test. It felt like a warning. Not a raccoon. Homeowners set up a security camera to catch a possible thief. What they saw instead made their blood run cold. The footage shows a creature crawling inside, tall, skinny, with strange limbs and eyes that glowed in the dark. It wasn't shaped like any animal. It wasn't shaped like a person either, just something in between, staring right at the lens like it knew it was being watched. One thing's for sure, this wasn't a raccoon. Alien at window. This footage from North Carolina caught something hard to explain. A tall figure with big dark eyes was peering in through a window, its head slightly tilted like it was studying something inside. It didn't knock, it didn't move much, just stood there looking, then slowly walked away. The clip went viral. Even news channels picked it up. Experts who reviewed it say it might actually be something from out there, but skeptics still call it a trick. Either way, no one's denying it looked real. Backyard lurker. Late one evening, a woman heard something crawling around her backyard. Thinking it might be an animal, she grabbed her phone and stepped outside. But this wasn't any animal. She saw a large figure on all fours, its body bent, its long face looking too stretched to be real. It crawled along the yard and slipped behind a wall. She followed it, but by the time she reached it, it had already vanished. No trace, no sound, just that image stuck in her head. Creature in hole. The security camera captured something no one was ready for. In the stillness of a backyard at night, a hole in the ground began to shift. Slowly, something started to come out. A figure wrapped in white cloth with tangled long hair pulled itself halfway up. Its arms were thin, but strong enough to grip the wall as it tried to rise from the darkness below. Just as its full form began to appear, the footage suddenly cut off. It looked like a ghost, or could be a spirit trapped underground, or something far older trying to return. Caged entity. An explorer stumbled upon something chilling inside a forest farm rumored to be used for illegal activities. Hidden behind layers of makeshift barriers was a cage, and inside it a humanoid creature. It was pale, hairless, and looked weak, but its eyes were wide open and aware. It made strange, low sounds, almost like crying. The creature didn't speak, but it reacted to the man's presence. It didn't seem like it wanted to be there. Netizens were quick to point out the cage looked old and rusty, suggesting it had been trapped there for a while. The big question, who locked it there and why? Hybrid being. While filming his farm, this man captured something that looked like it stepped straight out of ancient legends. A creature with goat legs, a goat head, and a human torso walked slowly past his view and disappeared into a nearby room. It didn't run. It moved like it had a purpose. The man uploaded the video, and within hours, people flooded the comments calling it a Baphomet. Known in esoteric traditions, Baphomet is often tied to mysterious rituals and secret beliefs. Though often misunderstood, its appearance still unsettled viewers. For this farmer, it wasn't just folklore anymore, it was walking on his land. Miniature forest man. A boy was out on a casual ride through a forest trail, torchlight in hand, enjoying the calm until the light revealed something strange. A small creature barely the size of a child was inching closer, but it didn't look like a child. Its face had adult human features, and it moved in a crawling, low-to-the-ground style that was completely unnatural. Some online called it a feral human. Others thought it could be a mythical forest dweller. As the boy quickly switched off the torch, the creature paused, then quietly backed away and vanished into the darkness. The boy never looked back. Witch on roof.
¿Vas a volar o qué?
A group of friends went camping when they came to pick up stuff from the car. There was this thing standing on the car roof to welcome them. It was wearing black clothes and had white hair. It was on a broom that looked like it was there directly from a witch movie. As the man put the torch on it, it dropped the broom and started behaving weirdly. It looked like it was a human trying to pretend to be a witch on a broom. Maybe it was not stable or something happened to it.
¿Vas a volar? A ver, vuela pues.
Trailcam recorded this footage that showed the witch on a broom again like the previous one. It was behaving strangely with a broomstick, moving it in weird ways, and doing strange things that led people to say it was performing. Real witches do not behave like this, and most probably it was the same group they saw earlier in this forest. It made the sighting even stronger that it was someone pretending to be a witch to scare people, but people know the reality now. Horned hat figures.
Jim. Bobby, is that you?
A man was walking alone late at night past a church when he spotted something strange and unsettling. Jim, Bobby, is that you? Bobby, I get it. Man, just gonna stare at each other for like what you got me. The problem is I keep doing this. I'm just going to stare at him.
Bobby, is that you? Bobby. I get it.
Then, two unknown figures were standing in front of the building wearing hats that seemed to have horns. Their presence alone was enough to cause unease, but then the situation got even weirder. You can hear the man trying to talk to them, but the figures just stand there staring in silence. After a few long seconds of this eerie standoff, they simply disappear, vanishing into thin air. Was this some kind of sick prank, or was there something truly supernatural going on? No one knows for sure, but one thing is clear. The guy was freaked out and wasted no time getting the hell out of there.
Just gonna stare at each other for like what? You got me.
Basement sighting. A guy decided to explore an old abandoned prison and headed straight to the basement, the darkest, most untouched part of the building. As he walked through a narrow corridor, his camera caught something that didn't look human. Behind the wall, a figure with glowing white eyes stared at him in complete silence. It just stood there until it suddenly rushed toward him without warning. The guy panicked, switched off his camera, and ran out. No one knows what it was, but judging by that footage, staying even a second longer might have ended badly. Unexpected sighting. While walking through a forest trail, an explorer spotted something running across the clearing, but it wasn't running like a person. It was using only its hands. Its legs were thin, joined together strangely, and almost useless. The creature moved quickly, keeping its head low, and disappeared into the trees. The explorer stood frozen, unsure if he had just seen a human or something else entirely. The face was partly visible, but not enough to make sense of what it really was. Watcher in ice. In a frozen area of Alaska, a hiker spotted something that didn't belong there. Just behind a chunk of ice, a pale, human-like figure stood still, not looking at the man but searching for something else. It didn't move, didn't turn, just stood there with an eerie calmness. The way it blended into the snowy scene made it feel more like a part of the landscape than a living thing. Some say it might be a shapeshifter. Others think it's something no one's named yet, but even the short moment on camera left a lasting chill. Goblin in rocks. This strange moment begins at a rocky cliff. A man watching nearby suddenly saw a small creature leap out from the rocks and land on the grass below. It had a weirdly shaped head, tiny limbs, and long pointy ears. It moved fast on all fours, like it knew exactly where it was headed. Then it slipped inside a nearby building. The man followed, but the creature was gone, not a trace. It looked like a tiny goblin or forest spirit, but the way it disappeared was even harder to explain than what it was. Unknown visitor. Some clips make your stomach turn, and this one does exactly that. Two boys spotted a pale figure crawling up the canyon rocks near their village. It had dark, hollow eyes, thin strands of hair, and a body that didn't look fully human. The way it climbed was unsettling, like it didn't belong in this world. The camera caught every second of it coming closer. Some viewers think it was just someone in a costume, maybe, but others say no costume moves like that. The boys didn't stick around, and honestly, neither would most of us. Hide and seek. Graveyards are already spooky, but this one had something more. A researcher curious about rumors of wandering souls visited one night. He scanned the graves when something caught his eye. Barely visible unless you slowed the footage down. A pale figure was hiding behind a grave slab, motionless. And then, as if realizing it had been seen, it slipped behind the stone and vanished. Was it a spirit or something else quietly tied to the place? Whatever it was, it didn't want to be noticed. Spooky hand.
Get up here, Carly!
A family outing turned weird when this boy pointed at his sister and said, "Something's holding her." The father looked over and saw a pale, long arm gripping the girl's hand. She pulled away and the man rushed over, but no one was there. Nothing. The girl was shaken, but fine. It could have been a cryptid hiding nearby. Others say it was just her imagination, but that arm, it didn't look like it belonged to anyone normal.
Get up here, Carly!
Creepy creature. What looked like a movie scene turned out to be very real. A giant hairless creature was seen just outside someone's house, trying to peek in through a camera lens. It had a strange head shape with what looked like small spikes or ridges. The face didn't match anything people know, and the way it moved, slow, quiet like it was watching, made it worse. No one knows what it wanted, but the image of its face has stuck with everyone who's seen it. Tree entity. At first look, it looked like an old doll tucked inside a tree hollow, but that changed fast. As the explorer leaned in for a better look, the figure blinked and quickly pulled itself deeper into the dark hollow. Not a toy, not at all. The YouTuber didn't stick around. He ran, leaving behind nothing but shaky camera footage and a lot of confusion. No one knows what lives inside that tree, but it didn't seem like it wanted visitors. Wall jumper. A man spotted a fast-moving figure crawling on his wall. It wasn't a bug, it was something else. Small in size, quick on its feet, with big floppy ears that twitched as it moved. It climbed high, paused, then jumped down like it had no weight. The man rushed to the other side to catch it, but it was gone. It looked like a goblin, but nothing can be said with certainty. It didn't want to be seen. Spooky creature. What started as a peaceful camping trip turned into something unforgettable. The man saw it, creeping from behind a tree. Its body was bent, legs oddly shaped like it wasn't meant to walk the way it did. At first, it moved forward slowly, then it stopped. Those glowing eyes locked on him. It stood still, vanished behind the trees, only to pop out again, closer this time. That's when his phone slipped from his hand. The recording ended there. No one knows what happened after that. Rumored figure. Two friends went into an old abandoned house after hearing rumors. Locals said something strange lived there, and they were right. As they explored, a pale, tall creature peeked from behind the wall. Its face didn't look human. It didn't even blink. They ran without thinking twice, posting the footage online later, calling it a Wendigo. They never returned, and no one knows how long that thing's been living in there, or if it ever leaves. Wall crawler. On a street, a man captured something strange crawling across a cement wall. It didn't walk like anything familiar. It had too many legs and a tail that swung behind it as it moved. The way it walked, calm, like it belonged there, made it even more unsettling. Before he could zoom in, it vanished behind the wall. Some said it looked insect-like. Others said it was more reptilian. It didn't act like it cared who saw it. Forest glitch. At first, the forest was calm. A solo camper was enjoying the silence, but something didn't feel right. He noticed a shadow moving behind the trees. He leaned over to get a better view, and just as he stepped forward, the creature appeared on the other side as if it had teleported. 1 second, there was nothing. The next, it was inches from him. The video ends suddenly. No explanation, just static. Whatever he saw, it didn't want to be filmed. Greenish entity. At a construction site, one of the workers noticed something that didn't belong there. A strange figure stood between the stacks of materials. It had a dark greenish skin tone, long limbs, and large pointed ears. It wasn't doing anything, just standing and staring like it had been waiting for something. As soon as it noticed the worker recording, it turned its head slowly, then bolted into the nearby area and disappeared. The worker couldn't chase it or get a clearer view, but even that short glimpse of its unusual shape and speed sent chills down viewers. Some think it resembles goblin-like folklore creatures. Sudden encounter. Scares don't always come at night. This explorer was checking out an abandoned site when he caught something bizarre through a broken wall. A thin figure was standing still, half hidden, peeking from behind a cracked slab. Its ears were pointy and something was sticking out of its head, like a short antenna. It wasn't robotic though. Its skin looked organic and pale, but stretched tightly over its bones. As soon as it noticed the camera, it dashed away at an unnatural speed. The footage was brief but clear. Some online users say it might be a hybrid or something extraterrestrial. Weird sighting and This eerie footage shows two completely different creatures in the same forest clearing. One, covered in a long white gown, walks slowly through the trees, its movements oddly calm and ghost-like. Just a few feet away, there was another figure. This one was black, smaller, and crawling on all fours like it didn't even know the other was there. The two never interacted, but their silent appearance in the same clip made it feel like a crossover of different worlds. The two beings might come from different dimensions and cross paths by chance. Dende or what? This happened in Guadalajara, Mexico in June 2024. A woman stepped out for a break and noticed something standing beside a nearby building. It was small, around 2 feet tall, with a completely dark body and no visible facial features. It just stood there, barely moving like it was waiting. She quietly began filming, but after a few seconds the creature vanished and the clip ended. Online viewers quickly called it a Dende, a mysterious figure from Latin American folklore. Dendes are said to be mischievous and often linked with gnome-like behavior, but darker. Luckily, this one didn't approach her or react. Disappearing soul. This sighting came from a cemetery, where a man spotted a strange figure sitting silently among the gravestones. The creature's skin was a pale grayish white, and its lower body appeared blurry, almost like smoke or fog. Its upper body, however, was clear, showing short black hair and 2 sharp horns sticking out of its head. When it turned slightly, the side profile revealed no eyes, no mouth, just a smooth surface where the face should be. It didn't move aggressively, just sat there like it was waiting for someone. Then suddenly, it vanished. This seemed like it sensed the man recording it. Eerie encounter.
Going up? Oh yeah.
This biker was heading home late when the air suddenly felt heavy. Right ahead stood a woman, except something was very wrong. Her head was twisted backward, and she was crawling on all fours, wearing a loose white gown that dragged along the road. Her movement was slow but unsettling, almost like she was being pulled by something invisible. The biker froze. The creature didn't make a sound, but its presence felt loud. It moved toward him steadily, and her hollow face with lifeless eyes seemed fixed on him. Some viewers called it a spirit, others said it matched descriptions of a banshee-like figure from old roadside legends.
Going up? Oh yeah.
Wallcrawler returns. Remember that creepy wall crawler from before? This clip shows something eerily similar, but now it's on a different building and in full view. A night guard noticed something unusual outside and checked the security camera. There it was again, crawling across the metal grills. It had unusually long arms with single finger-like ends, multiple insect-like legs, and a face that didn't look human at all. The ears were sharp and the head twitched strangely as it moved. It paused just long enough to face the camera before vanishing. Maybe it's the same creature, a mutated animal, or it could be a shadow entity. Road beast. A man was out cycling like he did every evening, but that day turned into something he'll never forget. As he approached a curve, something huge blocked the road. It had the height of a small truck, with long, messy hair and a stretched face full of sharp features. The creature walked on all fours, its limbs unnaturally long. The man dropped his phone in fear, but the camera caught a few seconds of this terrifying being. While some viewers online dismissed it as a prank, the man insisted it was real. He said the thing felt alive, and it wasn't part of any movie. Yeah. Upside down woman. This woman was driving home late at night when something unusual appeared in front of her car. Standing right in the middle of the road was a figure that looked like a woman, except it was upside down. Its limbs were twisted unnaturally, adding to the unease. The eerie part wasn't just the position. It suddenly stood upright and began walking backward. Its long hair dragged on the ground, and the blank expression on its face sent chills down her spine. The woman believed it could be a possessed figure or something far more sinister. She also compared it to tales of ghost ghostly road walkers told in small towns. Night encounter. Not every strange sight comes from the front. Sometimes it's the side mirror that reveals what you shouldn't see. As this man drove slowly through a dimly lit area, he kept a flashlight pointed toward the bushes, following strange sounds he couldn't ignore. Suddenly, something pale emerged. It wasn't an animal, it looked like a humanoid figure with thin limbs and hollow eyes. It walked straight toward him from the darkness. The creature's appearance reminded viewers of the skinwalkers from native legends. The man didn't wait to find out more. He hit the gas and sped off without even checking if it followed him. Shadowy entity. A girl was just walking through her kitchen when something small caught her eye. A dark little figure peeking from behind the wall. It was gone in a flash. She ran over to check, but no one was there. She scanned every corner and found nothing. But when she checked her home security camera, a glimpse of the figure appeared. Short, dark, and still. It didn't move much, but it was there. She had never seen anything like it in the house before. It seemed to be a shadow dweller or a mimic, and it could be living there without ever being noticed. Campfire glitch. After pitching his tent and settling in for the night, a guy decided to record a quick reel showing off his campfire cooking skills, but he had no idea what he was about to stumble into. Many commenters said it looked like a curious little monkey, nothing more. Others argued that no one was actually there, and the creepy face that popped out was added in later, especially considering how chill the guy was. What do you think really happened in this video? Drop your theories in the comments. I'd love to hear what you've got. Forest zombie. During a hike in the Canadian wilderness, a tourist filmed something that's nearly impossible to make out. The video quality is so bad that you might hurt your eyes trying to see it. But if you look closely, you can spot something pale crawling out from the underbrush, possibly a person, though its movements are completely unnatural. Its ghastly appearance makes it look more like a walking corpse. The tourist is convinced he saw a real-life zombie, but given the poor quality footage, I have my doubts. Nightcrawler. A man riding along a dirt track late at night had to hit the brakes when something crossed right in front of him. It wasn't walking like a person, it was crawling. The creature had a pale, stretched body and limbs that were way too long for a human. It didn't seem scared or curious. It just moved across the road slowly and silently before disappearing into the bushes. The man kept his lights on it the whole time, but what he saw still made no sense. Open discussion. Today's open discussion is about this video that is going viral online. A man kept hearing strange noises coming from his guest room, like scratching and shifting sounds. Tired of it, he finally opened the door and saw something he couldn't explain. On the bed was a small creature. It had a human-like torso but a thick tail dragging behind. Its face didn't look like any known animal, and as it moved closer, it smiled. That smile wasn't friendly. It was sharp, uncomfortable, and silent. The man backed out and shut the door, not sure what kind of thing had found its way into his home. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.